everyone, it's Lori. Thanks for coming by Time Traveling Treasures. I have been kind of MIA for about a week or so. I haven't really put out any videos. I do apologize. Our household kind of got hit by some sickness last week, and I wasn't able to devote a lot of time to videos or actually thrifting for that matter, so there really wasn't a whole lot of thrifting adventures to put out. So I did get a few opportunities to go by and do a little bit of thrifting, but nothing that I had to bring boxes and boxes home like I'm used to doing. So I figured I would do one video and show you everything that I got pretty much for the week, last week, part of this week, over the weekend. And then I'm going to do another video either today or tomorrow going over the things that I've been sourcing out of my office. Yeah, resellers have this term called the death pile, and I know that sounds really, really horrible, but we affectionately call it our death pile because what it is things that make it into our house from the thrift store, the estate sale, wherever we thrift or source, and it kind of just stays there for whatever reason. Sometimes it's we have to research it more, or we got a lot of it and we just don't know how to photograph it, or we don't know how to process it, or we don't know enough information. It's just, there's numerous reasons. Honestly, sometimes it just gets lost in the shuffle and lost in the pile, and then you end up thrifting before that gets processed, and you're all excited about the new stuff you just got, and the stuff you got a week ago, a month ago, 3 months ago, etc., just kind of gets pushed aside. So, for those of you that don't know, I'm in the process of updating my office space. I was in a very small room. Now I'm in a larger room, and in that process, I've had to go through stuff that I've kind of been putting off. So I made a commitment to myself to not go thrifting, not go thrifting very much. How about that? Not go thrifting very much until I get rid of the stuff that I haven't listed. So I will show you a video of all of the things that I have thrifted from my office. Some of it are misfits, some of it are things I don't know, things that came in a lot of things, or things that I went to an estate sale and I just grabbed a bunch of things that were together and they just kind of got carried in with the lot. So I'll kind of go over that and show you some of that stuff, because honestly, going through it, I found some pretty interesting pieces. So that will be coming up sometime this week. I won't make any promises as to what day, but sometime this week. So I'm going to start, this is actually going back a little ways, but I'm going to start with, I had mentioned in my previous video when I went to the bins and I showed the clip of the craziness of the people raiding the bins, that I didn't get anything in the actual bins, which that's the Goodwill outlet, for those of you who aren't familiar with the term the bins. I didn't get anything in the actual bins side of the Goodwill, but in the retail section I did find a few Christmas items. And they've been in the car. So I have them out of the car, so I'm actually making improvements. And I thought I'd go ahead and show you those because I wanted to kind of explain a little bit about what made me pick them up, because by some people's, they're not really considered vintage or antiques, but they're still collectible, and I'll explain why I got them. So this is a Christmas snowman. It's just a little platter. And it is Fitz and Floyd. And Fitz and Floyd is one of those exceptions. It might not be super old, it might not be super vintage or antique, but Fitz and Floyd is very collectible, especially the Christmas and the holidays. A lot of the larger pieces do really, really well for resale. And it's also one of those companies that's kind of near and dear to my heart. My mother worked in the bridal registry industry, and so she did a lot with different china patterns and companies and getting brides set up with their very first china pattern and set that they had when they got married. So I was always in that shop. I got familiar with all the different companies, and as a younger me, I was very, very fascinated with the style and the design of Fitz and Floyd. So when I see Fitz and Floyd, I get excited, one, because it's nostalgic to me, and two, because it's beautiful and it's very collectible, and the pieces are very unique and detailed, and the design is beautiful, and the holiday pieces do really, really well. So I picked this up at Goodwill. It was $4.25, but it was yellow, so that means it was 50% off. So this guy came home with me. If it had been any other brand or company, probably wouldn't have come home with me. But because it's Fitz and Floyd, here it is. Now, the same store, same day, same situation. These were in the Christmas section. I don't really know. I don't really know if they're Christmas. And I showed my sister last night, and I talked with her, and she's like, yeah, I don't know if I would necessarily call those Christmas, but I mean, I guess I could see how maybe some people might consider them Christmas or holiday looking. But they are Royal Dalton. And there's a set of 4, so I'll show you all 4 of them, and then I will talk about why I got them. I'm trying not to get my ring light in there. There you go. And as you can see, the price is still on them. I just got them out. I just got them out of the car. So the reason why I got these plates is simply because they're Royal Dalton. Royal Dalton is another one of those companies where even if it was made in the 80s or 90s, just like Fitz and Floyd, if it's made in the 80s, 90s, I'll still pick it up because the detail, the design, the artwork in it is absolutely stunning. And it's also very collectible. It's nostalgic for people, and I am selective as to the pieces that I pick up. A lot of the serving pieces or the center pieces, absolutely with Fitz and Floyd, the larger pieces, even though they're a bear to ship, they do a lot better, of course, because they're larger pieces. So the Royal Dalton I got because they're Royal Dalton, and because there's a set of 4, and they were a set is called the Spellbinder. And they seem to be seasonal plates, like spring, summer, fall, winter. I don't know why they were at the Christmas section. Maybe they thought they looked like Santa Claus. I'm looking more at Gandalf or, I don't know, wizards, but I guess some people can, the Christmas magic, that's what it is. It's the Christmas magic. Anyways, so I do this all the time. I might keep it. My sister thinks I should keep them, and she thinks I should display them in my new office. I don't know. She hasn't been wrong before, so maybe I should listen to her. I don't know. No, they're really pretty, and they do really well on eBay. The plates go for between $30 and $50. I'm not sure if I want to sell them as a set or if I want to sell them individually. I'm always kind of torn about that, because sometimes there's people that collect a series of something and they just need the one plate, or they just need the one of something. And you can sometimes do better selling things individually, because you reach more of a need of people. But then some people actually want the lot. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But they will probably honestly be listed. So that was what I got a couple weeks ago from the trip to the bins. And while technically it wasn't purchased in the last week, it was reacquired out of my car in the past week. So it kind of by default classifies as thrifting from last week. I'm going with that. So what I actually got last week was just a few things. So I'm going to go through them fairly quickly. First thing is this pink satin glass vase. And this is Viking USA. I don't know if you can see that. Anyways, it's Viking USA. I don't always pick up the pink frosted satin glass. Some of it does, I would say around $15 to $20, depending on the size, the style. I got this because the pattern on it was in really, really good condition. There's no rubbing on it, or it's all in really good condition. And I just liked the print was like a larger print. A lot of times the decoration on it is just like a smaller little delicate flower, but I just liked it. I like the size. So I paid 98 cents for this. So this usually goes for about $15, $10 to $15, depending on the size. So I like that. This is something that, okay, so the Village Thrift, my favorite thrift store, they have the framed artwork, or just the frames, the plain frames. And I thought it was a sale where they were having buy one, get one free, but it's still there. So maybe it's just an ongoing thing until they kind of thin out the herd, because there's quite a bit of it. So I've had problems though, because the last few times I've gone there, I've gone to get pictures and to look at them to see if I can get a buy one, get one free, but I haven't seen a free that I want. I've only seen one thing, and I know I should get the other thing for free because it's for free, but I don't want to be a hoarder, so I just leave it and I just get the one thing. So this I thought was a pretty good find. I paid 58 cents for this. So even if I didn't get a free thing, 58 cents for a piece of art, I'll take it. This is a little folk art. And it's called a Theorem painting. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but Theorem painting. And it has like a description on the back of what it is and how it's designed. So I will read that to you. It is an early American folk art of painting in oil on velvet through a series of closely aligned stencils. Folk artist Jean Henry has designed this original theorem to capture the whimsical charm of country primitives created 2 centuries ago. So it's kind of hard to see, but the actual canvas is like a off-white velvet. And then it's just like a little primitive girl getting ready for bed, and she has her bear. So I thought that was pretty neat for 58 cents. And I actually looked these up, and they do pretty well, between $20 and $30 on eBay, depending on the style and the pattern. Like some of the florals don't do as high as some of the people, the ones with like the people or figurines, or, not figurines, but like figures or animals or things like that have a tendency to sell a little bit better. Okay, also that day I got this, and it is an Encolé stone, like a little vanity trinket box, jewelry box, and it is velvet lined. And I haven't even taken the price off, so you can see that I paid $3.96, but that's what the label looks like. And I saw this, and I wasn't too familiar with it, but when I looked it up, I saw that they actually do pretty well. I'd say around $20, depending on the size, depending on the shape. There's different patterns. Some of them have like the nautical ships or, you know, different kind of motifs. This is like a Grecian design to it, and this will go for about $20 maybe. And the color of it is kind of a yellowish green, like a lima bean green, I guess you could say, but it's really pretty. I like it. And then there were these two guys. Look at them. Look at how cute. Look at the faces. Do you see the little faces? Look at them. Okay, so these little guys, obviously they were someone's craft project or you know, ceramics class project, but I figured since they were, yes, they're pumpkins, so they could be for Halloween, but I think they could also be for Thanksgiving or just regular fall decor, because they're not really scary. They're kind of cute, so I think they can kind of be fall, you know, all of fall. And they were 2 for $2.25. So I got both of these for $2.25. And I just thought they were cute. And a lot of times the handmade pottery class type do-it-yourself kind of projects, it's really kind of hit or miss as to whether or not I'll pick them up. It depends on the quality. You know, some people, let's face it, some people are just better at painting than others. Like my sister. My sister is great. She can paint anything. And I do all right, but she's really, really good. Some people just have that eye. Some people get that, but they're still practicing, and those pieces I usually just kind of pass over. I respect the creative flow of energy that went into the piece, but that's it. It's there for another person. So, but these guys were really cute, and they were really well done. The little lashes and everything, they're really cute. So they came home. They were cute. So I got those. I am a sucker for otagiri mugs. I don't know why. There's just some things. This is a beach scene, and because I live in coastal Virginia, it's pretty popular to see a lot of nautical, beachy type things over here. And I really liked the pastel seashells. And I paid 28 cents for each of these. 28 cents. And I would say each of these I could probably get between 8 to 10 for them individually, maybe 12 to 14 for the pair. So that's what So the otagiri stoneware does pretty good. I sell quite a bit of it. Certain patterns do better than others, like the lighthouses, the hot air balloons, the beachy nautical scenes have a tendency to do pretty well. So those things I got at the Village Thrift with the exception of the pumpkins. The pumpkins I got at Goodwill. So on the day that I went to the Village Thrift, I went there and we are currently renovating our house. Well, redecorating, I guess you could say. And I'm looking for a new light fixture for the entrance, for the front entrance, because the one that's in there is very small to scale and it's very dated. It's very brass and very 80s and very, it's very not something that I want to be in the front entrance when people walk in the house. So while I was at the Village Thrift and I found these lovelies, I was in a side section where they have all the frames and everything, and they have a whole open shelf full of lamps, light fixtures, and the like. And I was walking out of that section to go into the main area, and I saw something stained glass, like a Tiffany style. And I am to die for anything that's Tiffany, stained glass, the whole Art Deco, anything like that. I just love the warmth of the stained glass. So I saw this dome thing. I couldn't get to it because they had this bench seat thing in front of it, and I'm kind of tall. I'm 5'8", but I wasn't tall enough to reach over and trust myself to hold a piece of glass. I'm not the most coordinated people. So that night, I grabbed my fella and I said, we're going back and I want to look at this because I don't even know how much it costs. I don't even know what it is. I just saw it and I want to check it out. So, like the sweetheart that he is, we went back and we were looking at this Tiffany, well, I say Tiffany, the Tiffany style, you know, like kind of a dome lamp. And he pulled it out, he's like, it's $12.95. I said, that's ours. It's ours. Even if it doesn't work in the front entrance, it's going somewhere. I want it. It's gorgeous. I love it. I'll probably show you later what it looks like once it gets installed. That'll be motivation to get it installed. So we were looking at this lamp and I turned around and there's like a divided area in between the smaller side section and the main part of the thrift store, and there's this bookcase that has like records and other books and stuff on it, but it's just like an open bookcase with the shelf, you know. And there is this vase sitting right on the corner of this bookcase, and it's like a main thoroughfare. And I turned around and I said, oh my gosh, look at that poor vase. It's going to get knocked over. It's sitting right there. There's nothing around it. It's just waiting to crash to its demise all over the floor. I've got to move that lamp. I'm going to go put it in the housewares with the other vases, and it's going to get hurt. So I make my way over to this vase. I'm like, that's a pretty vase, but I don't really have a need for a vase. So I saw a sticker on it. And I said, I wonder what is that sticker? And I started reading the sticker, and the sticker was kind of peeled off a little bit, so it wasn't like a complete sticker. And I saw the word royal. I said, royal? Wait, royal? That can't be, can it? And I flipped it over, and sure enough, sure as sugar, it was Royal Hager. And I've never found Royal Hager in the wild, but guys, look at this baby. Okay, this is Royal Hager. It is a drip glaze lava texture vase. When I saw this, I was almost afraid to turn it over because I didn't even want to know what they were asking for it. Because even if you don't know what it is, it's quite stunning. So here, I'll show you what the sticker looked like. So it was just a little piece of a sticker. It wasn't even but I saw the word royal. And so then when I turned it over, I paid $6.98 for this guy. $6.98. Can you believe that? And I almost missed it. It was there during the day. It was meant to be for me to go back and look at that stained glass and turn around and see this beautiful, beautiful vase just waiting for me. It was just waiting. It was like calling out to me, Lori, Lori, I'm gonna fall, come save me. So I did. But this is what it looks like on the bottom. You can see it says, so I have this lovely. These go for the lava texture drip glaze. They're kind of all over the place. Anywhere from between $35 and $60. So it will probably join me for Thanksgiving. I might use it as like a Thanksgiving, part of my Thanksgiving centerpiece. Take a couple pictures of it and then pass it along to its next journey with its new people. So that's my thrift store meant to be kind of thing, and it was glorious. So that is basically what I've been up to for the past week and a half, and I will do another video where I kind of get into a little bit more of what I have found in my office, things that I didn't even know I had, because they were groups of things, and some surprises where I wish I had seen them sooner. So get ready for that coming up in a few days or so. I really appreciate you being here and going over all of these lovelies with me. Please consider subscribing and coming back and hanging out with me again if this is your kind of thing. I try and post at least a couple times a week, so there'll be opportunities to see what I've thrifted, maybe some thrifting adventures out in the wild that we can kind of do together. So thanks again for being here. I will see you next time. Bye.